your two dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today.
News like a Texas judge releases criminal migrants that rioted and assaulted the Texas National Guard. Good morning. Welcome back. It's the start of a brand new, beautiful week. And of course, we've got the same old shit happening again. We are your two dads. I'm JJ.
You can call me Tater.
That's Tater, I guess. We meet here Monday through Friday to 8 o'clock in the morning or thereabouts to drink coffee and talk about the news, talk about everything that's happening in politics that matters to me or you or him, to take your comments and the whatever, to stuff, whatever. We do a show. It's fun. And at the end of the show, if you hang out this long, you get a hilarious joke. Hilarious.
At least one. Maybe one.
Probably from him.
Hey, why is your name Tater, Deacon? I'm glad you asked that, JJ.
Yeah, why?
Thank you so much.
Why
are you
in
so
the
curious?
world
Awesome.
is your name Tater?
Today, in my hometown that I was born, is the celebration called Tater Day. And Tater Day is the longest continuous trade day in the United States. This is the 179th Tater Day in Benton, Kentucky. COVID, of course, took it out the COVID year, and that pissed off everybody.
Oh, you guys had to reset, start over. So
I know that kind of, so like it did everything. Everybody just kind of forgets that year or whatnot. I don't. Anyway, 1843. And here's a little history lesson for you today, kids. Back then, we didn't have cars. It took more than 10 minutes to get somewhere. So on the first Monday in April, all of the farmers from all around the county would come to the one town, the county seat that had the courthouse, and they would set up and trade, and they would do their county business and stuff in their town business, but they would bring their sweet potato slips. And they would trade to each other because because the start of the sweet potato growing season. And they would trade their sweet potato slips and other different things that you would trade and you would buy. But that was the main thing, was trading agriculture. But our main one was sweet potato slips.
So sweet potatoes. So they didn't actually bring all their sweet potatoes. There's
little
paper.
It's little starts of the plant. This is the little slips of the plant, and they would. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So, and today there is, it's just a hometown fair, flea markets, fried foods. I bought some homemade fudge yesterday, and they've got all kinds of stuff, silly shirts and Trump flags and marijuana flags and all all the other fair stuff. So it's appropriate. It's a pretty cool little festival. It really is. The parade's going on today, and my son's playing in the parade in the band, so I'm good to go watch the Tater Day. I'll be 47 in June, and I bet I've been to 45 Tater Days.
It's very good to have Tater Visibility Day. This is amazing.
Tater Visibility Day is what this is.
Did you hear about you know who? It's like he can't go a single day without saying something dumb as F. And hey, you know what? Last week after the show, you guys don't know this. After the show, Deacon and I just kind of like hang out and talk for a little bit, just about like other stuff. And Deacon and I both committed to, turn down the curses, the cursing, the profanities. So that means I'm going to have to try to not get so incensed about some of the stories that we read.
I'm gonna start using bad words.
Bad words?
Dad
words?
Bad words.
Bad words.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we may talk about JB trying to steal Easter from Jesus. What a jerk. All right.
If that shouldn't piss off every Christian,
It really just had like a backlash on Twitter because then as soon as that happened, then like Posobiec and a bunch of others just started posting like, oh, it's Jesus Visibility Day. Let's just talk about how Jesus is great, and so that was good. So had a little kickback or whatever. I did see a picture of the person who invented Trans Visibility Day.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I think I decided to just refer to them collectively as goblins because this person looks like a goblin. So maybe we'll look that up.
The 2021 estimates from the 2021 census, this is coming from the census website, suggests that of the entire U.S. population, 332 million, about 63%, 210 million are Christian.
Oh, okay.
I was curious. I was curious myself.
Well, look, even our president says he's Christian, and then
a lot of people say they're Christian.
He raised the trans visibility flag. So on Easter of all days. Morning, David. David, let me know if you want to join in. I mean, I guess so. Pastels and stuff.
It's an Easter color flag.
All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, there's some very pressing business. Very pressing business. I'm going to see if this video will play. I don't know if it will or not. Do you remember? Let me turn the video down. It was probably like, I don't know, a week, maybe not even 2 weeks ago that we saw this video here. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Migrants break through border barriers and rush the National Guard patrol. These are illegal immigrants, criminal migrants, and they're gonna push through and they're gonna knock down some National Guard soldiers to get through that assaulting Americans and Texans. Yeah, that's what happened.
That's what I said. It was like, what happens if you shoot a couple of shots into the air? You know?
Well, the cartel guys that are in there. What were you saying?
Watching this just drives me crazy. And when you watch the first of that, the only thing I can focus on is the freaking immigrant in the light blue towel with fluffy bunny or blanket with fluffy bunnies on it that he's sitting there holding it around. I'm like, what is the first time I was like, what is that? That's a blanket with bunny rabbits.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, look,
whatever.
You use what you got. You use what you got.
That's true.
Well, it will surprise no one, I'm sure, to realize that some people were arrested during that riot that assaulted Texas. Yeah. And you would think like, oh, those guys shouldn't even been in the country. Let's deport them or let's leave them in jail.
Right. Let's do something because there's actions and there's supposed to be consequences for every action.
That's what we are told.
That's a physics law. That's a universal law.
You know what? I'm not smart enough to realize that there's a third way. And maybe you aren't either. There's a third way. Yeah. So, but this judge in Texas, he is smart enough to realize that there's a third way. And check this out. He says, hey, why don't we just cut them loose? Why don't we just, I don't know, let them go. But we'll only let them go on their own recognizance. Texas judge grants Easter PR bonds to rioting El Paso border migrants and blames the DA.
When do we as a society rise up against these particular people? These people that are in power that do shit like this, that a majority of the society is like, this is bullshit. Why are you doing? Well, when and if do we get back to that level? Are we regressing as a society to get back to the level that we were at, say, 150 years ago? To where if somebody or did we ever leave that? Did we ever leave that society?
This is what they want. This is what people are voting for. They're donating to Act Blue, and they are voting in people who don't want to do law and order.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
So we're getting exactly what we want. You just, and it's up to you and me, Deacon, to train our kids or maybe our people that we can influence to say, hey, maybe this isn't what we want. Maybe we don't want to lose our entire country to people assaulting us in blue bunny towels.
The problem is we have generations of dumb people. And don't get me wrong when I say that word dumb. Let me use another word. We have generations of uneducated people. These people were uneducated in certain things, especially history, that the teachers were either crap, the teachers just passed through, they didn't make it fun, the kids weren't interested in something that these people completely forget everything else that has happened or will happen, and they don't learn anything. I just got into a freaking over the weekend. We were standing there at I'll tell you later. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So, presiding magistrate Judge Alberto Acosta set PR bonds for the migrants accused of rioting participation on Easter Sunday. It's the ruling of the court that all the rioting participation cases will be released on their own recognizance. Migrants being held in the ICE immigration detainers will remain in custody, court officials told the news outlet. Judge Acosta blamed the Office of El Paso County District Attorney Bill Hicks for not being prepared for the detention hearings.
Funny
the Texas Code, yeah.
Bill Hicks was a comedian in the 90s that passed away, and he was hilarious. He's one of those that like drops knowledge, like George Carlin type comedian.
I know that name.
Bill Hicks,
but I'm bad with names, and I'm good with faces. So if I saw somebody, I'd be like, oh, that guy probably.
Yeah, you might recognize him.
The Texas Code of Criminal Procedure requires migrants arrested without a warrant have a hearing before a magistrate judge within 48 hours of their arrest. Additional magistrate hearings for arrested migrants are scheduled for Monday, the newspaper reported. The Texas Department of Public Safety law enforcement officials arrested a group of migrants following an attack on National Guard soldiers at a border cross. Why couldn't they just have one hearing for all of them and be like, you guys are going to remain detained, you know? You've been charged with this, and I mean, like, I don't understand why we cut them loose, or maybe drop the charges. I don't know, but they're released on bond. At least some of them were released on their own recognizance. Dude, we don't even know who these people are. We have no idea. They came to a fence.
Trust them. You gotta trust them.
All right.
What person are you?
All right. I guess you know what. It's a personal fault of mine. I have very low trust, very low trust of other people. It's true. I'm sorry.
Me too, Fred. Me too.
A lot of people have gotten mad at me for not being very trusting.
It's all right. They can be mad at you all they want.
They sure can on their new server. I hope they love it. You don't know about it. I'm going to tell you about this. Deacon, we're going to pause the news for a minute. I'm just going to tell you a fun story. Deacon, once upon a time, for those of you watching, maybe know, Deacon and I met playing Contest of Champions, and for a time we were in the content creator program because I run the largest server on Discord for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And
we had a very successful podcast.
We had a podcast. I mean, I'm trying all I can to erase that from history, to be honest. Just to
I've got them away. All. I've got every one of them.
Okay. So, Deacon, it may surprise you to learn that Kabam started their own official Contest of Champions servers.
I saw that on Discord.
Yes.
Yep, I saw that.
But they don't have a moderation bot, and they didn't have any automatic moderation, but they did have content creators that they had promoted to moderator status who were banning people that said anything that didn't like.
Wow.
So somebody pinged me on the server and like, JJ, they just launched an official server. Are you worried about this? And I was like, I don't care. I do not care at all. And hold on, wait, they're banning you guys? Hold on a second. Okay. So on Friday, it's within 20 minutes of them launching the server, I had already launched the OMCOC speed ban speed run. So if you got banned in the first 24 hours from the official Contest of Champions server, but somehow we're not banned from my server, you get an official title and an official channel.
That's genius, dude.
I
You're a
know,
genius.
dude, we were having so much fun on Friday. I almost pinged you, and then they were like, "Are you gonna go over there?" I was like, "I'm not going over there. If I set foot in there, dude, we both know exactly what will happen.
You'll get banned immediately, like
Yeah.
within 5 minutes. I'm sure both of us. I would last a lot longer than you because I got a lot more love than you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you would last longer than me. But if I showed up and I was like, "Oh, this place is great. Good luck, guys," that would be like banned. You're being subversive. Like what? I even changed the rules on the server on my server to say, this is how magnanimous I am. The rules on the server remain the same, but now I have a notice. This is the unofficial Contest of Champions server. The official server is available here, and I provide a link.
Nice.
Don't even complain about their server. This isn't the place for that. Good luck, guys. Anyway, so yeah. It's
way to take the high road, Fred.
I love it. I love being both a mega troll and morally superior at the same time.
I know that's the key. That's the key. When you can be you call it mega troll. I always call it a butthole, but the trollers kind of stop cussing. That's the key.
I think that I think my immediate mockery of them banning people like made them change their stuff like right away, because they were ban, and I was like award, and I admonished everybody that got that award. I said, "Hey, this is not a prize. I am disappointed in you for doing that.
You shouldn't do that. You are a bad person. So I'm going to give you this badge of shame."
They went from banning people to giving them like these timeouts, and I was like, "Yeah, that's going to work." They have no bot. They have no automated moderation system except for the rules that they put in the Discord client. And they have no rehabilitation system. So if
the people don't understand, you put the bots in the servers to moderate all the millions of little trolls, the thousands of little trolls that try to slip in certain words that are offensive that you don't need to slip in.
Yeah,
and they will respell them, and they will try to use numbers, and they try everything to get around the word. So you have to have these bots that are always there to moderate the words. All right, there's our nerd talk for today. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's enough.
That made my day. Okay. That's great. I think I still kind of keep up with Contest of Champions a little bit. I see some of the stuff that they add from the Twitter people that I still follow and whatnot. But that was a nice experience that I had in my life that gave me some really cool stuff, and it got to introduce me to you. So I'm not upset about it. And we got to go to New York on their dime. Yeah. We made a lot of friends. So it was. I mean, me and you and Sinister.
Net number of friends may have
acquaintances.
Yeah, I made at least one good friend. And you know what? I talked to Bagel yesterday, just a message. So yeah, a couple. I would love for Bagel to come be on the show sometime. And you know what? Even oppose some of my views on the show. I would absolutely love. So if Bagel ever gets around to hearing this, I don't know. Whatever. Can't control other people. Can't get him to do stuff really.
Yeah,
he's invited. The door's open.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Deke. Yesterday, last week. I'm gonna get back to news. I know. I'm off the rails a little bit. I just thought it was
all right. It's fine. That's fine.
Last week I told you that Donald Trump and Lee Greenwald is that right?
Lee Greenwood, country music artist,
partnered up to offer the God Bless the USA Bible that includes the King James Version of the Bible, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and handwritten lyrics to God Bless the USA. Is that right? No, is that right?
God Bless USA is the name of the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was going to be the God Bless the USA Bible, $60, and you can buy a Bible from Trump with American history in there added to it. And would you believe some people think that isn't a good idea? Now, I don't know about, somebody sells Bibles, so why can't Trump sell Bibles?
Everybody sells Bibles. Next time, just drop in a Books A Million, just go down the Bible aisle and count how many different people sell Bibles.
Yeah. So, there's no reason why.
There's a Joel Osteen Bible if you really like him.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
Well,
I gotta talk.
Senator Warnock has offered his tremendous opinion on this. That he says that whoops, sorry. This is the opposition to the Transgender Day of Visibility. Senator Warnock said that, and he said that the Bible doesn't need Donald Trump to sell it. That's what he says. Let me get that. I can't believe it. Got the wrong story up there. Here it is from The Guardian. Senator Raphael Warnock says the Bible does not need Donald Trump's endorsement. Get out of here. I'm not paying you guys for your bogus news. The Bible does not need Donald Trump's endorsement. Warnock, the pastor of Atlanta's historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, said to CNN State of the Union on Sunday, speaking on Easter, one of Christianity's holiest celebrations. Warnock added, "It's a risky bet because folks who buy those Bibles might actually open them up where it says things like thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not bear false witness, where it warns about wolves dressed up in sheep's clothing." I'm pretty sure that's a nursery rhyme. Isn't that a nursery rhyme? I don't think it actually talks about wolves in sheep's clothing in the Bible. I might be wrong about that. I think you ought to be careful. This is risky business for somebody like Donald Trump. Warnock's comments come the days after the Republican Trump, who's running against Joe Biden, presented the $59.99 Let's Make America Pray Again post on his Truth Social platform, a clear reference to Make America Great Again, and he's endorsing these Bibles. So Raphael Warnock don't think that's a good idea, but this is the same Raphael Warnock who says that opposition to Transgender Day of Visibility goes against Christian faith. This pastor of Atlanta Ebenezer Baptist Church, or whatever it is, Ebenezer Church, says that if you are offended by Transgender Visibility Day, then happen to be on Easter, then that goes against the Christian faith. This guy's a nutcase. This is one. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Warnock made his comments during CNN's State of the Union with Dana Bash. Bash noted Transgender Day of Visibility, which began its annual celebration in 2009, has always been held on March 31st, while the date of Easter Sunday changes year to year. Bash also referenced the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who lambasted Joe Biden's decision to proclaim Easter Sunday the Transgender Day of Visibility. How come Joe Biden didn't say it's also, Easter Sunday, the day that our Lord and Savior gave his life in exchange for your sins so that you don't have to go to hell? Why didn't he put them equal weight?
Because they all want us to die. Have you not read a history book?
They do hate
Jesus.
us and want us to die.
Just read a history book.
If you need a really good one, I hear Trump's got one for $60. Okay. Deacon, this might be great news for somebody. Let's see what you think about this. Let's see. Hold on before. Just want to make sure I'm okay to transition. No pun intended. No pun intended. To a different topic. A new $20 minimum wage rule for fast food workers in California is set to start today. So if you work at In-N-Out Burger or Burger King or whatever is available in California, you could be making $20 an hour. Fast food workers in California, including Auntie Anne's and Cinnabon in Livermore, will start earning $20 an hour on April 1st.
How much do you think a pretzel's going to cost at Auntie Anne's in California?
Listen, they don't need to understand how economics works. They don't need to understand that giving them more money will literally forcing people to give them more money will literally make everything more expensive, and they will get less hours.
Once again, how I said earlier, how people don't pay attention in school, and they're too busy worried about what they look like and what their friends think of them, that they don't pay attention to stuff like this. And then when they get to becoming adults, they just don't care. So you're exactly right. They don't pay attention in economics class. And now in 6 months, when all the prices raise, watch the news stories come out about, Oh, people are mad because now it costs $17 for a plain cheeseburger at freaking
You know
McDonald's.
I'm super curious. Well, it's too soon to log into this website and find out how much a Cinnabon is in Livermore, but pretty soon you'll be able to just check. Check.
Where's that at?
In your
California?
city. Yeah. In California and here, and you'll be able to watch the price of the Cinnabons in Livermore just go up.
Auntie Anne's locations in Livermore, one Auntie Anne's location in Livermore, California. It's there on Livermore Outlets Drive. You should have known that, JJ. Good God.
Of course I should have. My bad.
Okay, it opens at 10 a.m. So
Yeah.
let's just go to their. It keeps opening separate pages. Ooh, bite-sized pretzel twist with a pepperoni nugget on top. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a let's just get a regular pretzel. Where's a regular pretzel? I don't want a pepperoni pretzel. They're original pretzel. $5.99.
Okay.
$6.29 for cinnamon sugar pretzel.
All right.
$6.29 for the sweet almond pretzel. You want to order a pretzel nuggets? They don't have the price. Okay, so $6, $6.50 for a pretzel.
So let's check in a couple of weeks whenever this. I'm going to make a couple predictions. This is wild, right? Absolutely wild. This is an insane prediction. Within a year, that Cinnabon will be closed. Is that insane? That's probably insane, right?
That location will be closed.
It's in an outlet mall. So $20 an hour for Cinnabons in an outlet mall.
Yeah, how many at $6 a piece?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to sell, 3 to pay at least 3 an hour in your outlet mall to pay the one employee.
Yeah.
That's before everything else, electricity,
rent,
the product, rent.
The P&L on this is going to be great. Yeah. Hey,
okay.
You know what?
Excellent.
Good luck to those people in California.
You dig your hole. That's the problem. These people dig these giant holes, and then when they get to the bottom and they can't get out, they scream and cry and throw a fit, and they want people to throw them ropes. Sometimes you got to make handholds and get out of the damn hole yourself.
If you're interested in supporting these people in these Cinnabon workers, folks, right here, that's Livermore Outlets. There's the Cinnabon right there inside, next to the New Balance factory store. And you got the
They got a New Balance
Burberry outlet. Burberry outlet.
Sweet.
You got Ralph Lauren factory store, the Merrill outlet store. So this is an outlet mall.
Sweet.
And
okay. They got a bookstore? No, I don't think they have bookstores anymore.
I really doubt they have books.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Highly doubt that. Okay.
I got a story for you, JJ, kind of political out of Tennessee.
Okay.
Came across X this morning, and I was reading this measure from Tennessee. And basically, it's what it summarizes is that Tennessee legislators have passed a bill to require that any food that contains a vaccine or vaccine material to be classified as a drug and labeled as such. The measure now heads to Governor Bill Lee's desk. Now, JJ, I just have one question.
Why are we putting vaccines into food? Why are we doing that?
Because dumbass conspiracy theory, black sheep, not follow the herd, stupid ass, hard-headed people like me. I almost cussed. I cussed there too. I'm sorry. People like me that would not be forcibly, would not be coerced into taking the vaccine to give me the vaccine. Did you know that they have it to where they're working on to get it just in the air that you breathe in the vaccine? So this is just conspiracy, aluminum foil hat guy. All right. Why would the government be passing a law to prohibit vaccines in food or to be labeled it as drugs if they don't already put it in the food?
I mean,
just a question. I'm just asking a question.
And I'm not saying the law is a bad idea. The idea of like, hey, why don't we just pump drugs into people's food and they won't even know? How is that anything except a super villain's like crappy third-rate plan? Is it terrible?
Are we the good guys?
I'm the good guy. I'm trying to save everybody. Just tell the government to leave you alone. And also, you should probably buy a gun. Just saying.
Or two.
Some guns.
All right. Tell me this AT&T story,
Right.
because I have AT&T.
Do you really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Deke, I got bad news for you, bruh. And, well, you know
I
what?
see that.
It's not entirely bad news, because bad news can be accompanied by good news. So it kind of offsets a little bit. And I want you to think about this. First of all, I'll give you the bad news. Here's the bad news nugget. AT&T is investigating a leak that put something like 73 million AT&T users' information on the dark web. So people on the dark web, they got your billing account number, they got your password, your profile picture. You know, they may know where you've been, what you've been looking at on Reddit. Don't know. The leaked data was from 2019 and earlier, and it impacted users. The passwords for impacted users have been reset, and credit monitoring is being offered. Despite the breach, AT&T claims that no material impact on its operations, with no evidence of unauthorized user access to its systems. So that's the bad news. If you've had AT&T since or before 2019, you probably have your information up on the dark web. Now, here's the good news.
I have stuff that monitors that, and I actually got, like, last week, I got an email that said something about my information on the dark web, and I honestly think it was AT&T now that I saw that, because I have this thing that monitors, and so I did and went to it and looked it up, and it was my name, but it had like the last 4 digits, the stars of your social security number, but the last 4 digits, and that wasn't the last 4 digits of my social security number, and it had the address, and it was like Ohio, and I'm like, okay, that's not me. That's not me.
So here's the good news. When something like this happens, there's usually a class action lawsuit, and if you join that class action lawsuit in like 7 or 8 years, whenever AT&T settles it, you could get a check for $2,
you will get a check
$3,
for 16
$4
cents,
maybe.
Yeah. Like, so Ashley did that one time, and we still got the check. She never cashed it. It was like 16 cents.
It's not all. It's
what she got.
basically all I'm saying is it's not completely bad. Just real bad. All right.
There was another one not too long ago that was like that I was like, well, that's happened to me a million times, and it was something that if you've done this, blah blah blah. It was some website thing, a Google lawsuit or something like that. And I was like, well, Amazon, maybe it was Amazon. I don't remember.
Do you want to do crazy conspiracy, or do you want to do AI news? Because I got 2 AI news and I got a crazy conspiracy.
Well, let's get the crazy conspiracy out of. Wait, what's this one? Okay,
want? Huh? We gotta do engagement with our chat. Dave says a few weeks ago, when AT&T experienced a severe outage and they blamed it on a solar flare. Ooh, is that related? You think that's related? Probably not related.
What do you say? Remember a few weeks ago when AT&T experienced an outage and they blamed it on a solar flare? Oh yeah, that was the hacker crap.
Yeah,
that was the hacker crap. That was straight up. I believe that was a hacker.
Okay,
all right.
So let's do AI news, and then we'll do wacky stuff. Here we go. AI news.
Beep, bop, boop. This is AI news.
Stupid. All right. First we got.
All right, you actually have AI news. This is interesting. Yeah. I don't know what you're going to talk about.
So first up, we have this: the United States Congress bans their staff from using Microsoft's AI Copilot. Axios reports. So the U.S. House of Representatives has banned the use of Copilot for congressional staffers due to data security risks. Ruh-roh. I use Copilot all the time. Copilot is super great.
You use Copilot?
Yeah, Copilot. Yeah. That's what being AI is. It's called Copilot.
Yeah.
And then there's one.
Yeah, I've got it up here, but I don't use it. I use
built into
ChatGPT.
where are our faces? Where did we go? There we are. There's one also built into Windows 11, but I don't use that one. Microsoft's plans to release AI tools, including Copilot, that meet federal government security requirements later this year. So basically, it's just not secure enough yet, I guess. But that's good. You know what? Can we replace sooner or later? We should just replace our Congress people with AI. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
Why not?
I mean,
Sure.
How could it get worse?
Sure.
How could it get worse than would it be worse to have evil, sociopathic psychopaths that are narcissists getting into office and making up rules because they think they're smarter than you? Or would it be better for evil robots to be empowered? What do you guys think? Which is least worst? Let us know in the chat, please. Okay, here's the other one. I studied, according to Breitbart.com, a study conducted by the National Research Group says that 42% of TV production workers fear that AI will harm people in their field. So if you work in film or TV, about half of your coworkers think that AI is going to harm your job. The study was conducted.
Well, yeah, it's already harmed a side job of mine, the voice stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Everybody gets AI to do it now. Yeah. Not everybody, but a lot of the little bitty
I've seen
$20 jobs and stuff. Just introducing stuff that goes to AI. They just get AI to do it.
I've seen an app advertised where you could just any book at all and AI will read it to you. So it's like Audible on the fly or whatever.
That's what an author friend of mine that I've known since kindergarten, and she's a librarian here in town, and she's wrote a dozen books. It's done very well.
Right.
Teen romance books or something that done very well in that genre. And she told me one day, she was like, you need to narrate books. And that was a couple of years ago, and I was talking to everybody. I was talking to my neighbor here that listens to a lot of audiobooks, and I was talking to people that listen to audiobooks, and I'm like, what do you like? Do you like it when the guy completely does different voices? Do you like it when they subtly change their voice? Do you like it when they do this? What do you like? And I took down all these mental notes of what people liked and preferred, and I was starting to do it, and I was trying to fix a freaking hum that I have in my equipment. When I look at the spectral wave, you can see a hum that happens every 1,000 hertz.
You've told me about that before.
And I can't get rid of it in this studio.
Right.
And so I never did the audiobook stuff, and now you can't. I'm still going to pursue it a little bit,
but the opportunities you're going to.
I can do better than AI.
I think performers are better than AI, but look, the reality is,
I can do better than AI. I know I can do better than AI.
You are going to be more expensive than AI. AI will be cheaper.
Absolutely,
and
I am.
So for a lot of
AI is going to be cheaper.
A lot of books, it's going to be AI. My favorite author, favorite performer is Michael Kramer, who's done a bunch of books. He's done a bunch of Wheel of Time books, a bunch of Brandon Sanderson books, and he does a plethora of voices for characters, and they all sound unique and different and amazing.
Does he subtly change the voice, or does he greatly change the voices?
Like for the character, would he change the voice to set, or would he change the voice up to something like this to kind of subtly change the voice?
It depends on which characters are either dialoguing or if it's the narration voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the narration voice would be yeah. And I've listened to guys that don't do that. The people that don't do that, they just read blah 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 said blah blah blah, and he said this and blah blah blah. And I like it when they do the voices.
Okay, let's see. So, is
that your other AI story? Is that the only one?
Yeah, that was the other one.
Did you do both of them?
Jobs. So, study found 32% of movie and TV production workers believe AI will benefit them. So, some people think it's going to steal their jobs, and those people are right because their jobs are probably. I'm sorry, it's not fair. Look, obviously, there's going to be workers that work the AI to get the creative vision out. There's going to be some of those jobs that are performed better by AI. And you're going to lose those jobs. But there's going to be other jobs created. So the real question is, are we going to get any better TV and movies? And the answer?
No. Well, maybe.
Probably not. Probably not. So for the rest of us, the net consumer, no big difference. You remember Tyler Perry canceled that $800 million studio contract expansion
because they can do crap with AI
I
technology
could just
now.
sit on my computer with my feet up on the beach and be like, make me a space station with the beach inside of it. That'll be amazing. And you can see that stuff. All right. So that's my two AI stories. You got any AI stories?
I don't have an AI story, but I do have a hang on, I'm trying to write this out. I do have a story that is on the same Venn diagram.
Okay.
The scientist, I know you don't believe that this stuff happens, JJ, but it does, and here's further proof. The scientist who gene edited babies is back in the lab and proud of his past work despite his jailing. Now look at this guy and read that headline and think, what a monster. This guy altered the DNA of these discarded embryos, right? That led to the birth of these genetically modified twins. All right. Terrible. You read this, and I was like, well, what did he do with these designer babies? We hear about these designer babies. I want my baby smarter and stronger and all this stuff, because he has figured out a way to just get in there and do it. You know what the twins are 5 years old and are completely healthy. Do you know what he spliced in their DNA and took out?
What did he do?
The children are immune to HIV.
Oh, man.
That's what he did. A third girl was born in 2019 as a result of similar experience. It doesn't say anything. He said that he hoped to use genome editing in human embryos to develop treatments for rare genetic diseases such as this muscular dystrophy, Alzheimer's disease. He says 3 genome edited children were perfectly healthy and have no problems with their growth, adding that the twins, now aged 5, are attending kindergarten. Lulu and Nana are the twins' names, sister. So he said that he was jailed, and he says, I don't care. I'm not making superhuman babies, but someone is. He was, according to this article, trying to help. And I'm torn between, do we act like God, or do we try to help my child that's got muscular dystrophy that they can already tell your child, when your child is going to be born, you first time parents, when your child's going to be born, he's going to be born with this genetic disorder, this rare disorder that comes in the genetics that y'all carry. Have you ever heard of Huntington's disease?
Right.
Man,
look, that's not
Huntington's disease. If you're a male and your dad has Huntington's disease, you might as well write your will, because it's like a 90-something% chance that you as a male are going to get Huntington's disease. And it's a terrible disease. And that's something where I'm kind of torn. I'm like, if my family carried Huntington's disease, I would be like, yeah, edit that shit out of my son. I don't want him to suffer. Edit it out. I don't want him to go through this.
Yeah, but I have a fundamental principle of like,
I know.
I have a fundamental principle of like, you cannot do things to people that don't have a way to say anything about it, right? Like,
okay.
like they have no agency, none. And we have no idea what the long-term consequences of this are. And the long-term consequences,
you're exactly right. You bring very good point.
Not be these kids' lives. The long-term consequence could manifest in 2 generations or 3 generations, and it could be could be a thunderstorm in a teacup, or whatever the expression is. But when we don't know things, my default reaction is retreat all the way to, we cannot do things to change the genetic structure of people that have no agency. Look, if you are a grown adult human and you want to go in for gene therapy and have like whiskers grown out of your face, or like a tail or some like weird stuff, I'm going to be like, oh, this person with mental disorder, but whatever, your body, you can do whatever you want.
That's completely different than somebody than a child growing up with like muscular dystrophy and suffering. It's not suffering, but having challenges, or maybe having some sort of physical pain that we don't go through. If I could stop that with gene editing, that's fine. But if I'm just crazy and I'm like, I want my kid to have a cat tail and I'm going to call him Tabby. No, fuck that shit.
Exactly. But it's,
crap.
It is. it is like the intention is morally divergent from to want to save somebody from hunting versus some cosmetic weird expression.
Exactly.
That's different. However, the idea that you would against someone's content and volition edit their genes, and I'm sorry, it's an embryo. It's not it is a human. It's an embryo, but there's no way for them to manifest any sort of consciousness there. I don't know, man.
We're just gonna have to
I just
disagree
think
on this
it's not
one.
good. Now Ricochet says it's creepy.
That's fine.
But exciting.
It is creepy.
And he also says, and he's not wrong, Con. It's exactly what that is. It's superhumans. Dave says that HIV, is commonly associated with sexually transmitted disease. Are you inadvertently Christian individuals to test every way possible to make sure and have? I'm not sure what this means. Are you inadvertently Christian individuals to test every way possible to make sure and sure?
It was supposed to be another word. They got autocorrected.
Make sure they can't get HIV. I don't know. Why not edit out like chickenpox or strep throat? Well, you know what? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know that you want to do that because sometimes getting sick when you're young makes you immune when you're old. And
we're getting into a conversation that's going to take. You're opening a rabbit hole for me that's going to make me start cussing. So let's change the topic. We disagree on this, but I'm not completely sold on one. Like I told you, I'm conflicted with all of the crap that was taught to me as younger, and you know what? And then I'm trying to look towards something else. China's not going to stop just because the NATO passes a law that says don't do this. Do you think they're going to stop? No, there's super soldiers over there that are 30 years old. So if you don't believe that, then I don't know what to tell you.
I mean,
you can lead a horse to water and beat it all you want, but still can't make it drink. So what do you know?
Okay, so there's just one more, but we're running real short on time. Should we? I don't even think you know about this, so we'll maybe hold this over till tomorrow.
Okay.
I did want to say this. Deke, I went and watched Dune 2 at the theaters this weekend. My wife and I made time to have a date. It was great. And watched Dune 2. That movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes long, but it didn't feel long. It is a long time to sit in a chair, but it didn't feel long. I know you haven't watched Dune yet. I know you haven't read Dune yet, but when you get around to it, the Dune 1 and Dune 2 Villeneuve adaptation is really, really, really good. But I will say, no matter what, you will benefit from having read the book because you will know a little bit more about what's going on. But they do a really good job of bringing the audience along, especially for people that don't really know what's happening.
Okay,
Dune,
excellent. I'm glad you liked it. As somebody who loves the book, I'm glad you liked.
Glad
you liked
the book.
It.
I would perhaps be opposed to Donald Trump issuing a copy of Dune. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. It has now grossed $252 million in the last 5 weeks, and that's domestically $252 million. That's a lot of money, and it's crossed $600 million internationally. And this is not like a Godzilla movie. This is Dune. And Godzilla has also been out in the weekend 1 week, and they made $80 million this weekend. So, are you a Godzilla King Kong dude?
I've never watched one of those.
Not
movies.
one.
I think I watched one King Kong movie.
Okay, so you're not. That's not your thing.
I just got other things that I'm interested in.
Okay.
It looks cool, but
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is also at $73 million in the second week. So
I'd like to see that.
I think that's my next one I want to watch.
I need to check Plex. It's probably already on my Plex server from Blackbeard.
I don't see how that would happen. I don't think it's on distribution.
I don't understand how that happens either, but it just appears. I don't know. It just appears on there, so I don't know what to do.
All right, folks.
Crazy. All right, I want to get to. We've been skipping out my song of the day, and I want to do my song of the day today. It's not a big deal because this week is just kind of whatever. This week we don't have a theme, so today's song, JJ, is Mashed Potato Time. Happy Tater Day.
Oh,
you ever heard Mashed Potato Time, that 50s song?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Happy Tater Day, everybody.
Wow.
So Mashed Potato
right.
Time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Happy Tater Day, go back and watch the beginning of the show.
Start the show over, but don't skip anything or you'll miss some important stuff. Watch the show entirely over again from the beginning and give us an extra view. That'd be great. Hey,
All right.
I mentioned
Joke time?
that our metrics were in the toilet, and we have to. Oh, that was after the show. We're gonna have to restructure stuff a little bit, or structure stuff a little bit better. All right, folks. For those of you who have been hanging out all this time, now it's time for your hilarious joke. We are two dads, and you deserve a dad joke. Deacon. Why did the skeleton drink 8 glasses of milk every day?
There's a couple of punchlines going through my mind, but I don't know
milk
what.
Is good for
Why?
bones. I mean, just that was so bad. I'm gonna have to do one more. Why did Johnny jump up and down before he drank his juice?
It said shake well.
It did, yes. No. Okay. Let's put an X on that one too. This is my newest book.
Have you ever heard of Harrison Ford?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Bald Dad Chevy. Harrison Ford, Bald Dad Chevy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. These are the outro credits, and Restream will mess them up.
Talking heads lying left and right. You can help us
See?
with facts
Told ya.
into the light.
That's right. They haven't
Don't
done it
let
right
your
yet.
daughter lose
Did it
her
right.
next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Tuning now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
This is not AI. This is the real Donald J. Trump. I love your two dads.